Um, Thanks, so very happy to be here. I'm going to read from this wide book called Goethe. I'm going to read two poems because one of them takes, I want to give it more time. So. An equivalence flinching at, fawning at, any softness to the nervous gender is a space for seeds, raw, clench, letting my even, if photograph them, of the slightest act of for softening. System has no planting, or something, or resistance in any roots rest wet, simply to keep it. Appearance, movement, or care shows and hope, future self were intact, and body and the mouth shining, eating and forming a case. On the tongue, take a hidden, an equivalence of appearance, flinching at the slightest movement, or fawning at any act of care, shows softness for and hope to a softening future self, where the nervous system is intact and gender has no body, and the mouth is a space for planting shining seeds, or eating raw something, and forming a clench, or resistance in any case, letting roots rest on my wet tongue, even if simply to take a photograph and then to keep it hidden. Memory is disembodied, and on my, over this, patina, slowly over, I keep it there without trust, is in view. Memories contained by calling these rooms porous does, is, and or touch on the place made less visible, or seen refracted over glass, of felt wrap. Around they are throats with me, mind, but is to polish this thing object is spatial like the small tongue. If you event I have bitter years, I make on the touching and charge by names of events. It are stacked on, is, and collides into and aside, but pulls the inside outside until it less visible through long time water and at the collars and joined with a, not at the top of, so as to make this thing which is dull, both a stomach of dropped thought, has thinness and is no peripheral without touching. Officer that pulls the funneling, even rooms I minimise little, but in my back, porous, the present incriminates away, and everything is atomized, and when moved to heat, a short side throats, I press the back of my throat, the reflective, or which and the shape embodied in my shoulder, my back, it takes a silky built noise. And moving it, how do I? Charges or sides into the list of rooms, the reality and yet means seeping never pulls me through, unable to clear one and dispersed, and the edges haze, distance, a sight that is mean. It's always of my procedure, shine and sharp. Memory is spatial, both embodied and disembodied, like a stomach of my shoulder and the small of my back on my tongue. If you dropped, it takes over this event. I have thought, has a silky patina, bitter thinness, and is built slowly over years. I make no noise. I keep it on the peripheral, moving it there without touching. Without touching, How do I trust an officer that charges, or is in charge, pulls the sides into view by funneling? Even the list of memories, names of rooms that contain events, are minimized by calling it little, but in reality these rooms are stacked on my back. And yet, porous means seeping does and collides into the present. Never is an aside, but incriminates, pulls me through, or pulls away, unable to touch on the inside and clear on the outside. Everything is one place, until it, atomized and dispersed and made less visible when moved to edges or seen through heat haze, refracted over long time, a short distance, a glass of water at the side, sight that is felt. Wrap around collars and throats. I mean, they are throats, joined with a press. It is always with me, not at the back of my mind, but at the top of my throat. The procedure is to polish so as to make reflective or shine this thing which as an object is dull and a shape sharp.